Food, faith, and baseball sounds like the ultimate trio to me. And as Clement found out recently when attending Baltimore Orioles spring training, for Travis Snider, it's getting those three things in the proper order that leads to fulfillment.
Joining a new team is never easy, but for Travis Snider, being traded to the reigning AL East Division champion Orioles is a pretty good spot to land.
Knowing you're coming into a winning culture with a group of guys that play for each other, play for the greater good of winning ball games, and that's something, unfortunately, at the highest level of professional sports can get lost, but when you can find that culture in a clubhouse, it's easy to buy in.
This Seattle area native was drafted in the first round by Toronto in 2006. Along with that came high expectations.
I've been through periods of my career where the focus has been on me, it's been on my stats, it's been on, this and that, excuses, whatever. And coming, into this will be my 8th season at the major league level, just a better understanding of how to make it through 7-8 months that we put into this thing and what we work for.
All the work Snider put into improving himself paid off last year. His 38 RBI was a career best, and his 13 home runs was the second most in his career. Mentally,
spiritually, it was the first time where I was complete, and it was something I worked hard on the mental side of my game, but also understanding the basis of my faith. And I was fortunate enough to have the men in my family are men of faith, and having a Snider Guys Bible study throughout the whole season last year where, we're able to sit back and put it out there on the table and find ways to relate no matter what your occupation is, what your struggles are, understanding where you put that and how you can hang your hat on what's been done for you so you can come out here and enjoy these blessings.
One person who was never able to enjoy Snider's success was his mother. She died when he was just 19.
My mother was very religious, and she went through some tough times before she passed. She battled health issues for a number of years, went through 2 weeks where she was in a coma, breathing off a machine, and that was when I was a freshman in high school. And then she battled the health issues for the next 4 or 5 years until it actually was a car accident that took her life. But the time that I was able to spend with her and the influence that she was on me as a young child growing up was tremendous.
When it comes to priorities, faith, family, and baseball are at the top of the list for Travis, but he's also pretty fond of food. His Twitter handle is LunchboxHero45, and in his spare time, the man loves to eat.
I didn't miss many meals as a kid, and you could tell I'm not a skinny guy, so for me it was something. Mom's was a good cook, always had good food on the table when we were young, and kind of picked up some things from her before she passed. For me, I love barbecuing, I love cooking steaks, and eventually was able to evolve that into different kinds of meats, different kinds of vegetables. Now with the nutritional information that I've been able to learn over the years, it's given me even more motivation to find recipes that are not only tremendous flavor-wise, but good for you.
With his experiences from playing in Toronto and Pittsburgh, Snider feels he knows the proper ingredients to form a World Series contender.
You see superstars all across the league on different teams, and those teams don't win. And for me, it's much bigger than just 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 guys. It's about 25 guys that are putting on that uniform every day, coming together and playing for something bigger than themselves.
As you said, Travis Snider, first-round draft pick, a lot of expectations. Has bounced around a little bit in his career, but seems to be in a good place on that team, the Orioles, and also spiritually as well.
That's right. It took him a while, but he learned it's not just about stats. There was a lot of pressure on him being taken in the first round, but he's learned to lean on his faith. And I mentioned in the story about how he lost his mother. He also, in a short span, lost his grandparents and a close high school teammate. So he's really learned to lean on his faith. Happy to be with the Orioles, the team that won the division last year, and hoping one day to get that World Series ring.
That's right. Now, I know you've got some other stories coming from spring training. What can we look forward to in the near future?
Also, Snider's teammate, Chris Davis, the Detroit Tigers, Rajay Davis as well, also James McCann, and we also talked to some Astros players, so several stories from spring training coming up here in the near future.
Can't wait for those.